Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your county agency for grass inspection. Today we're looking at verses 16 and 17. 16 continues in the key clause. Actually begins a third key clause here, for the wind passes over it. Now we're talking about the grass of the field. That's why I made that little joke about being a county agent for grass inspection, because, well, we're looking at grass here. As for man, his days are like grass. So what's your grass like? It doesn't last long, does it? The wind passes over it, verse 16 says, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, his righteousness unto children's children. So the days of men are like grass. We are only here for a short time. The wind passes over it, and it is gone. That word for wind there, that's translated wind, is also the same word that we translate spirit. It's also the same word that we translate breath. So the breath or spirit of God passes over it too. Of course, the wind, the idea of wind here is the wind passes over the grass of the field, dries it up, and it's gone. It blows it away. And then, spiritually speaking now, the wind or the presence or spirit of God passes over men, and they're gone. We don't last. We're just temporary, and that's due to our corruption. The single problem that we have is our corruption, our sinful condition, our choice to rebel and to create iniquity. That's our choice, and we've done it. We've bought into Adam's sin and his rebellion. Lock, stock, and barrel. We've got it all. But the wind passes over it, and it's gone. The place thereof shall know it no more. Then notice the comparison that's made there in verse 17. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting. So while the life of man doesn't last, and the place recognizes it no more. And by the way, we've seen that before in the Psalter. Whenever we talked about the wicked man, he's gone. The place doesn't recognize it. Everyone looks around and says, what happened to him? No one knows where he's gone to. It's the same idea. Our life is so brief, so momentary, that even the place where we are, it won't recognize us in the future. I mean, think about it. How many lives and how many families have flourished and lived, and yet today, hundreds and maybe thousands of years later, we don't know their names, we don't know their faces, we don't know where they were, their homes are gone, it's just an empty field or an empty lot because they're gone. And the place doesn't even recognize them any longer. However, the mercy of the Lord, always there, never leaves. It is from everlasting to everlasting. As high as the heaven is above the earth, as far as the east is from the west, it is from everlasting to everlasting. And if you can measure that, friend, go right ahead. But I think that you'll have trouble measuring from everlasting to everlasting. From eternity past to eternity future, that's how wide and broad God's mercy is. Upon them that fear him. We have to go back now to verse 13. Upon them that fear him. And then we go back towards verse 11. Upon them that fear him. So in this key clause, we have this idea of, and I mentioned that I think at the beginning of last week, this little phrase, upon those that fear him, is a very important phrase because it identifies the people who the mercy is expressed towards. Everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children. Do you fear the Lord? That's a good question, and I think you need to answer it today. Do you fear the Lord? Mercy is reserved for you if you do. If not, you have the sure and certain promise of judgment. But if you fear the Lord, there is mercy reserved for you, and it's deep, and it's wide, and it's unsearchable. And you can have it just like you can have his salvation. Call on Him today. His righteousness unto children's children. Hope you'll join me again tomorrow on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.